Lesson 9. How to buy and sell a stock. You've learned what stocks are. You've learned how companies become publicly listed. You've learned how buyers and sellers move the market. And you've learned the different types of stocks. But now comes the question every beginner eventually asks. Okay, I understand stocks. How do I actually buy one? That's exactly what we're going to learn today. Welcome back to another lesson. If you have been following this series from the beginning, you are already building the foundation you need to understand the stock market properly. Today we'll be moving from the theory into practice. We're going to look at how an investor actually goes from having money in their bank account to owning shares in a company. Let's get started. Number 1, you need a stockbroker. The first thing you need is a stockbroker. Remember from our previous lesson, a broker is the intermediary that gives investors access to the market and helps process their buys and sell orders. Think of it this way: you, your broker, and then the stock market. That is you, from you to your stockbroker, from your stockbroker to your stock market. You don't normally walk directly into the stock exchange and say, I want to buy 500 shares of this company. Instead, you use a broker or an approved trading platform. Number 2, open a brokerage account. Once you've chosen a suitable broker for you, you normally need to open an investment or brokerage account. The broker may ask you for identification and other information required for the account opening and regulatory process. Once your account is approved, you can fund it according to the broker's instruction, and now you're ready to start looking at investments. Number 3, fund your account. Let's say you've decided that you want to invest 100,000 naira. You transfer the money into your brokerage account. Now you have the funds available to potentially purchase shares. But here is something I want you to remember. Having money available doesn't mean you should immediately buy a stock. First, you should understand what you are buying and why you are buying it. That's something we're going to spend a lot of time learning throughout this course. Number 4, choose the stock. Now let's say you have researched a company and decided you want to buy its shares. For example, let's imagine the stock is trading at 50 naira per share. You have 100,000 naira available. Ignoring fees for this simple example, you could potentially buy 100,000 naira divided by 500. That's 2,000 shares. Don't forget, the number of shares you can actually buy depends on the available funds, the current price, your broker rules, and the transaction cost. Number 5, you place your buy order. Now you tell your broker, I want to buy this stock. But there's more than one way you can place an order. 2 important types you need to understand are the market orders and the limit orders. So those are the 2 types of orders you need to understand in the market: the market order and the limit order. Number 6, what is a market order? A market order basically tells your broker, buy or sell the stock at the best available price in the market. That is, buy it at the best available price in the market. For example, imagine the stock is currently trading at 100 naira. You place a market order. You place a market buy order. Your order will be matched against available sellers at the best available prices. But there's an important warning: the price you actually receive may differ from the price you saw a moment earlier. Why? Because the price can move, especially in fast-moving or less liquid markets. Number 7, what is a limit order? A limit order gives you more control over the price. Imagine a stock is currently trading at 100 naira, but you don't want to pay more than 95 naira. You could place a limit buy order at 95 naira. You are basically saying, I'm willing to buy this stock, but only at 95 naira or better. If sellers are willing to sell you at that price, your order may be executed. If the stock never reaches your specified price, your order may remain unfilled or eventually expire depending on the order's condition. Number 8, How do you buy and sell a stock? Selling works in the opposite direction. Imagine you bought 1000 shares at 15 naira. Later, the stock rises to 17 naira. You decided you want to sell. You place a sell order through your broker. If your order is successfully matched, you sell the shares. Ignoring fees and taxes. For this simple example, you bought 1000 naira. You bought 1000 times 50, that is 50,000. You sell for 1000 times 70, that is 70,000. That is, you buy it at 15 naira and then you sell it at 17 naira times 1000 shares, unit of shares you own. Your gross price difference is 20,000 naira. That's a capital gain before considering applicable fees, taxes and other costs. Number 9. But what if the stock falls? Let's change the example. You buy 1000 shares at 15 naira. That's 50,000 naira. But the price falls to 40 naira. Your shares would now be worth 40,000 naira. That's a 10,000 naira unrealized loss before the cost. This is why investing isn't simply buy stock and make money. Stocks can go up and they can also go down. You need to understand the company, valuation, risks, and your own investment objective. Number 10. What is a portfolio? Once you start owning investments, your collection of investments is called your portfolio. For example, imagine your portfolio contains UBA, MTN Nigeria, Dangote Sugar. Those investments together form part of your stock portfolio. Your portfolio allows you to see what you own and how your investments are currently performing. Let's head to number 11. What are brokerage fees? When you buy or sell a stock, there can be transaction costs. Depending on the market and broker, this may include brokerage commission, exchange-related charges, regulatory fee, taxes, or other applicable costs. That's why you shouldn't assume, if I make 10,000 naira from a trade, I automatically keep the 10,000 naira. Your actual result depends on the applicable costs and taxes. So after you have subtracted everything, you now know your actual gain. What happens after you buy? That's number 12. Once your purchase is successfully executed, the shares becomes part of your investment holdings, subject to the market settlement process. Settlement is basically the process of completing this transaction and transferring the securities and money between relevant parties. You necessarily need to memorize every technical details right now. Just remember, placing an order is not exactly the same thing as successfully completing and settling the trade. Now, there's something I really want you to understand. Buying a stock should not begin with the price is going up, let me buy. Instead, a serious investor should ask, what am I buying? Why am I buying it? And what could make my investment the wrong decision? That's the mindset we are going to build throughout this course. Later, you will learn how to analyze the company's business, financial statement, valuation, industry, risks, and technical charts before making an investment decisions. Let's do a quick recap on what we've learned so far. Number 1, stockbroker. Provide access to the market and helps process your order. Number 2, we have brokerage account. Your investment account used to hold or transact in securities. Number 3, we have the market order. An order to buy or sell at the best available market price. Number 4, we have the limit order. An order that specifies the maximum price you are willing to pay when buying or the minimum price you are willing to accept when selling. Number 5, portfolio, the collection of investments you own. Number 6, capital gain, the interest in the value of an investment when you sell it for more than your purchase price before considering applicable costs and taxes. Number 7, capital loss, the opposite, when you sell for less than your purchase price. And that's the end of lesson 9. You now understand the basic process of going from having money, opening a brokerage account, funding it, choosing a stock, placing an order, becoming a shareholder. But don't rush into buying stocks just because you now know how to place an order. Knowing how to buy a stock is different from knowing which stock to buy. And that's where our next level begins. In the next lesson, we're going to start learning something extremely important: how to understand a company's business before you invest in it. If you are following this series from the beginning, stay with me because we are moving from simply understanding the stock market to learning how to analyze companies like an investor. I'll see you in the next lesson.